So now you're probably wondering what this Shut Up book is all about. Where did it come from? Why is it all about mind reading? And who are these people? Well, in about 2000, that's the year 2000 for you people who weren't even born then, I had these two ideas for books. I was writing books at the time. One of them was called Mind Drive, about mind reading. And that started off was, I was on a train and some little old lady was in the way. She just stopped right in the doorway. And I said, excuse me. But in my head I'm thinking, get out of the way, you stupid old bag. And then I suddenly thought, oh, what if she could read my mind? I mean, the number of times I've sat next to a hot woman on a train thinking, do not think about sex. She might be reading your mind. And then she'll slap your face. Or you'll get married. Either way. It could go either way. So anyway, I'm thinking to myself, oh, gee, imagine if there was someone who somehow was reading my mind and hearing all this swearing and carrying on. Somehow it was on their car radio. And somehow this person encounters this person doing all the swearing. And then this relationship starts. And, well, let's not get into some boring love thing, because that's boring. Romance is boring. Everyone's done it to death. So let's have a bit of a somebody's trying to steal this mind drive thing, and kidnapping and car chases and whatever. So that was sort of the original idea for Mind Drive. And then I had another film that was going to be Everybody Needs a Hobby. And that had Ralph and Bert, these two rail fans, and they get caught up with some sort of criminal mastermind or something. And in the end I just sort of thought, yeah. So I combined the two together. So now we had two guys who like trains, and one of them gets his mind read. And then in 2005 I was working on this play with these people, and the play was going to fall to bits. So I said, well, I've got a bunch of people here.
If you thought trying to learn their lines was hard enough for the actors, then what about trying to choreograph a fight scene? Especially one involving a gun that has to be knocked out of the hand of the assailant before he can shoot you. Sounds easy? Well, just watch and find out how hard it really is. Our plucky band of actors are less like the Dirty Dozen and more like the Untidy Few.
And I thought, well, why don't you guys work on this sitcom idea I've got? So Channel 31 might like to show our sitcom, Channel 31, the community television. They have a 13 episode season. So I think, oh, I've got to write a sitcom for 13 episodes. But at the time we were doing the play, I had this idea for a documentary called How to Become Famous the Hard Way.
Fame. What is it? How do I get it? And then what do I do with it?
6 episodes of doco, 7 episodes of comedy, and then it kept changing around, and then I dropped the doco idea and just said, right, I've got to have 13 episodes of this sitcom. And so that was Ralph and his friends, and the mind drive, and the Samantha, and the dating, and reading his mind from in the car, and rushing off to the car park to read his mind and find out what he's really thinking about it, and all that kind of stuff. We never made the sitcom. I actually did make the documentary, and I put it on Channel 31, and it was called Famous for 15 Metres.
So if you've got stars in your eyes but are finding it difficult to become famous for even 15 minutes, maybe you can become famous for 15 metres.
There was no reference to Shut Up or Ralph or any of that in there. But what I did do at the same time was create an animatic. So I drew all these pictures of every scene in this sitcom, and then recorded all the dialogue, put that over the top. Bert, I'm coming! Hold on, mate! I'm coming! Mate, what happened? Am I too late? Shit! Cathumus here was the narrator for Simon and His Sarcastic Shadow, which I made in college in about 2003.
Sarcastic shadow, I hear you ask? 'Cause that's just the kind of question you would ask.
So I'd already started these drawings, and then I just adapted them for the animatic for Shut Up.
They're positively screaming, fondle me, lick me. You're nothing but a tramp, harlot, slut. Oh, great. Now I've got a hard-on.
Did all 13 episodes so that I could time everything and then move scenes around and add things and pad things out. Fill things out. Expand with award-winning comedy. Years later, I thought I should turn this sitcom into a book. Well, if I do get a publishing deal for this book, I'll then want to turn it into some sort of television show. And do I want live actors or do I want animation? So I started going back and redrawing the images, giving people faces and proper hands. And the Americans are the bad guys. They're trying to steal this mind-reading technology, which is probably just as well. I mean, the Americans make their own government, the bad guys.
Our organisation has a similar device, and we don't want the Australians to get ahead of us in the research and development department.
It's a sci-fi rom-com. As it says, boy meets girl, girl reads boy's mind, girl doesn't like what she sees. Americans get involved, mayhem ensues. The idea that she's reading his mind and he keeps thinking about sex all the time.
While she was looking at that porno mag, I detected a definite high factor of doability. Doability? What am I, a crossword puzzle or something?
I mean, Ralph is not the most, as they used to say, metrosexual. He's not the most PC kind of guy, and he doesn't like to show his feelings.
Are you mentally undressing her with your eyes? Maybe. You don't know what I might be thinking.
Yes, I do.
Yes, you're right. So do I.
I was certainly denuding her with my mind.
Yea, verily. Indeed.
When I was working on the Single Rules infotainment show about singles and dating, the producer of that show, she just said, "Oh, gee, I wish you men could read our minds. It would make life so much simpler." So I thought, well, I'll have you girls reading the men's minds. That'll make everything more complicated. And that's how you write comedy, by complicating everything. So now you know about Shut Up, and expect some sort of continuation with Ralph and his friends, and things will happen in a mind-reading kind of direction. But that is for the future. I've got it all worked out for the future. Now all I need is for the check to arrive in the mail.
Yeah, I told you he was just a blatant capitalist.
Oh yeah, like you don't want a percentage.